Guess who's back? Back again. Again. I am back with a new round for the Automation Beam Championship. We are already on Season 5, Round 4, which means we've been doing this for exactly for a lot of time. Anyway, the championship is hosted by Nev Cohen, whose full first name is Neville, which is surprisingly close to Devil. And presented by me, Oliver the Hovervan, the guy who makes cars only he likes and then gets upset when he gets 34th place in statics. This round was all about the weekends out on a sunny afternoon, with the wind in your hair, the sun in your eyes, and your midlife crisis right around the corner. Cheap convertible sports cars are the cars for when you want a fun and fast car, but with less practicality and chassis strength, but with more jealousy from older men who never achieved a convertible. Anyway, let's see all the cars you made. We start this week's episode, like every week's episode, with Alpine Auto. They entered the Alpine Auto EFI 2-liter. The name fits the car very well because the engine is exactly 2.123 liters. The car's features resemble an S2000 a lot. In combination with the stats, I would very much like to own one. Next up is AS Enigma, who took a more radical approach than some. He entered the B53 SS. I do not know if the name is taken from the brand name who were in the first hint, namely the B52s, but if it is, well done. The retro body has a twin-turbo V6 heart pumping out 433 horsepower, which is very impressive. Now we have Bâton de Fromage with the BAT Kwaisu Pauchu Ban Ben Kwaisu, which means fast sports car version fast, which is a great title. Another twin-turbo V6 car, but this time with a red two-tone paint job and a very impressive-looking Alfa Romeo / Fiat Coupe-looking front end. Apart from looking good, it also is good, scoring second place in the automation rating. BVH Tech built the Romano R7, opting for the Alfa Romeo Spider body, which is shaped like a terribly melted block of cheese. They had their work cut out for them in trying to make this car look vaguely acceptable. Interesting look? Check. Interesting engine? Check too. A turbocharged inline 3. I want some of the stuff BVH Tech used when designing this car, because it seems to work very well. Next in this list is the Campari Motorsport Casket Jazza Turbo. Supporting a clean and mean Mitsubishi concept look, the Jazza Turbo is a very sleek looking car. I guess it drives amazing too, with double wishbones all round and a powerful inline 5. This should be a quick and easy way to a smile on your face. The Delta Squadron Phoenix EM is a bit of a vanilla car with a non-turbo i4 and 200 horsepower, and also supporting the white color and simple styling. This car does not seem like an attention seeker, which might be a good thing, because when you're on the end of your midlife crisis and you want it to be over very soon, you don't want people looking at you. DJL made the Hanshin S25 Turbo. The car looks like a K-Car's mean older brother, aka very amazing. This is the first car we've seen with a 6-speed gearbox, which is surprising, as it does not have that much power, and not particularly quick 0 to 60 time, but who am I to judge? Dreamer Technica International could have risen to the heights of their Subaru STI inspired name and handed in an amazing boxer powered convertible. They did not. Instead they entered the Ultratica Janti Spider, featuring a V6 engine with 250 horse. The car is very light and very quick to 60. Duluth Motor Company has entered the Blasik Turbo, which is a clever name, as Blasik means windy in Swedish. The car is sporting a very aggressive yellow and also a very aggressive 2.5 liter inline 4, producing almost 360 horsepower. Sporting push-rod suspension all round, this is another plus point of the car. The weight is a minus point. The DuffTech Automotive voiceover, now featuring even more voiceover. DuffTech entered the Cognoscente V6. The car looks slick and the engine is very cool. A big ol' V6 is always the answer. The car is on the smaller side, making it a very good but slightly over-the-top Miata competitor. Next is the Eggwheel Racing P4 F3600 kit car. The car is weird, but exactly the good type of weird to almost be a realistic kit car, supporting the classic kit car look, around 40s looking race car body, and exactly those wheels. The weird thing is that it has a 3.6 liter twin-turbo Boxer 6 engine, which sounds like a very scary thing when you build the car yourself. ESBM entered the Bellagarde concept Faucigny. I absolutely cannot stress enough how much I love the look of this thing. The rear is stunningly cool and the front is there to match. Easily a 10 out of 10 look for me. Sadly, however, the car is almost 2 tons and it doesn't have the engine to match. But everyone knows I'm a sucker for amazingly weird looking cars that are very slow, so yeah. Next is Fenway Motorsports with the XP. Using a twin-turbo V6, this baby blue bolide bashes to 60 in a slightly underwhelming 8.5 seconds. But who needs speed when you have fun, right? No one. Look how happy the car is. Like, psychopathically happy. Now here we have the Fraser car for this round. Seeing as I could come up with the name again, this will now be called the Fraser Monaco Roadster. Normally I would abuse my power to think of something ridiculous, but I noticed the car has beige leather seats, which is the best thing in the world ever, so it had to be a classy name. Looking good and scoring absolute dead 0 points, story of my life. GT Auto entered the dark Masai S5. This car looks like everything I want from a 90s convertible and more. Big square body, big inline 6 with 444 horsepower, pop-up headlights, and it's aggressively blue. Very nice. I mean, it's also very heavy and probably uncontrollable because of the wheel spin, but hey, details. Next is the HT Automobili with the Maestral SR. Weirdly, this car front looks to me exactly like one of those photoshops where they glue the front of a sedan on a sports car. Anyway, big inline 6 and an open roof, red paint and wacky rims. It doesn't get more 90s and it certainly doesn't get more fun. Imperial Auto Group entered the Hornet KWZ, which is the weirdest combination of 1990s Japan and 1950s America I've ever come across. Supporting a huge V8 and a lot of 50s chrome ornaments and fixtures, this could have easily been a Chevy Coupe from 1953, but then the front looks like a Nissan 300ZX. Also, side note, who needs a reverse light that big? The Exodus 2.1 Turbo is Kaito Motors' entry for this round. Supporting the semi-popular Frog lights, this V6 monster is the real deal. We all know cool styling and V6 engine are the perfect recipe for any 90s car company to go bankrupt with. Again, looking good and probably driving even better. Next up is the Legende Motorwerken S5 CS220. Ignoring the fact that the cameraman seemingly did not specifically know the car was the focal point of this photoshoot and not the entire room, this car did pretty well. Getting solid points all round even when the car has a sequential gearbox is a tough job. Well done, Josh. Murgia Cars entered the Sardarji Mark 1 05.10. I do not understand the name and I do not understand the looks either. The TU wedge of underperforming is powered by a 1.5 litre inline 3, making a roaring 140 horsepower. It is however very light because of the fiberglass panels, so it's probably really good fun to throw around the neighborhood. Orlov Motorsport made the car with the coolest name of this round, the Silver Knight. Scoring very well overall, the Silver Knight is probably one of the best rounded cars in this round. The looks are on point, especially those kick-ass rims. The engine, gearbox and suspension are all perfect, very good job. Next is Space Automotive with the Curiosare Puntura, which I believe is an Italian swear word, but never mind that. The car is light, the car is quick, the car is urine yellow. The best combination except for one thing. Good job overall though, I think you scored pretty well in this round. Now we have the Proton Motorsport Fulton Taipan V6, another car that deserves a very high aesthetics placing, and that is what it got. Scoring third in the looks department, the Lotus-like speed machine is probably the best driving car this round, or at least the most fun. Big V6 and 6-speed sequential gearbox, yes please. PTD Racing with the Phenom 280GX is a very solid and very cool entry, scoring well in all categories. Not only does the car have a beautiful exterior and interior, according to the stats it also should be a blast to drive quickly for a week and then wrap it around a tree when you come home from work and it's raining even the slightest amount. Redtech Infinity is back with another cream-colored creation, this time being named the Infinity Rossini. Sadly not scoring any points except for aesthetics, I think this car is very interesting, using a V10 engine in the middle of the car, push-rod suspension and fiberglass panels. This almost sounds like a tiny supercar. Raven entered the Giudamo Pemo GTDR, using what I can only describe as the world's most 90s spoiler of all time. This bright blue coupe convertible is an interesting mix of things. Being driven by an inline 4, even though the car is pretty heavy, might seem like a bad idea, until you notice this unit is only 1.1 tons. Sealer Motor Company entered the Anzio convertible DLM. As you can see, there was no aesthetics entry, so I like to think that it looks like a Mercedes van with pop-up headlights and an unnecessary tow hook in the front bumper. Anyway, the scores and stats are very representative of this round, so good job. Smons Racing entered the world's worst paint job on a car ever. They entered the semi-used jawbreak. No, crap. They entered the Smons Racing Liano hardtop. Using light materials and a powerful engine, Smons managed to launch this chameleon to the second place lap time leaderboard. Next up is Subin with the car that is named by throwing 4 random letters in a jar and see what comes out. The Subin SCFA has a small engine with small power, but due to the incredibly lightness of it all, the lap time did not suffer as much as I thought it would. Good job overall. The Summit Motors Prime is the winner of the most budget-looking James Bond car award, which does not exist, but should. Using all the ingredients for a sports car, this truly is one. Mid-engined inline-5s are always good, so well chosen there. Tenryu Industries entered the Tempai 2.3 SXC, and look how cute it is. To my recollection, this is the only hatchback convertible in this round, and I absolutely adore it. It is so cute and amazing. Again, that is the car that surprised me with a quick lap time, even though it does not have the power, and it only uses steel components. Very cool car, Sig, amazing job. TMG entered the Scenario X2 Turbo, impressively scoring very well despite using a small inline 3 power source and a sequential box. For some reason, that is a combination I'd love to try out. It's quick, it is light, and it looks very cool. What more could you want? Next up is the best car in the entire world, the TMR 2000 Astra Photon RCS Turbo. Scoring a 3rd place in the automation rating and a 2nd place in aesthetics, this frog-eyed topless car is one of the ones I would definitely want in my garage. Using the holy grail of combinations, a V6 and a sequential box, I would drive and crash the absolute shite out of this car. Next up is the Twongi Works with the Pegaso Alfieri convertible. I don't know if the name was intended to look like Guy Fieri, but with that color combination I can almost not think otherwise. The huge inline 6 in the middle and the 5-gear manual make this baby supercar that I would love to be able to drive. Type-in entered the car, which is not called the base in any way, shape or form. It is called the Type-in 360 SR, named after the 360-degree spin, which you will definitely do after touching the throttle pedal when someone is in the area and has thought about the concept of rain. Big V8, big power, probably American handling, the perfect recipe for a very fun disaster. And lastly, we have Waffle Motors with the Fox 260 RS. This round Waffle scored very well, but not as well as I would have thought. Nevertheless, he built a very cool looking car with very acceptable stats, and he still did very well. Good job, as always. Next up is Thistle, who annoyingly won both the automation rating and the aesthetics scores with the Ben Lomond. Combining the face of a Lotus, the body of a Honda S2000 and the color of everyone's 5th favorite sauce, this car has potential to be the next Miss Universe, if the car is a woman and if cars could enter the competition. Now, for the round results, we have the king of this championship, who I am not suspecting of cheating at all, Nev with Thistle. In second place, this round we have Named by a Fish with TMR, being a full 15 points behind Thistle. In third place is Bâton de Fromage, who is still having a very strong first season. In fourth place is Kaito Motors, which is incredible, and in fifth place we have Smons Racing, which is a thing that happened and that I will not comment about any more than I have already done. Teacup is just missing out on the top 5 and is followed incredibly closely by Betos, PTD Racing and Waffle. Proton Motorsports gets a special shout out for doing exceptionally well this round. Interesting to note is that there is a 5-way tie with 23 points, followed by a 3-way tie with 20 points. Now, you have a special mission, soldier. It is your task to infiltrate this table and to find out everything you can and report back to me. Your time starts now and ends when you unpause this video. Good luck. Now, for the drivers' results of this round, Nev is in first but only by a very small margin, like a very small margin, as in 0.003 seconds margin. Second place is Smons Racing, and not far behind is Pace Automotive, which I believe is an exceptionally high place for this team. So, good job. In fourth place is Betos, which is again very good as always, and in fifth place is Dreamer. Again, just missing out on the top 5 is Teacup, followed by Sig for Tenryu. Now, there is a game. The one who spots the mistake in the flags in this table wins, except for that you win nothing and there is no mistake in the flags. Now, the Constructors' Championship standings. Thistle is still in first and only increasing their lead, now being 59 points ahead of TMR in second place. In third place is Bâton de Fromage, keeping up his great first season, and in third is Waffle, who is in a close spot, meaning that he's very close to getting third, but also very close to losing fourth and being fifth. Speaking of fifth, it's Mons. Spons Racing is in fifth place. Kaito and Tenryu are tied with 175 points. They only have the last round to try and become the better of the two. Congrats to Costco for breaking the 100 point barrier this round, and congrats to Betos for breaking the 200 points. The rest of the table is yours to explore. See you soon in the next clip. Now, we have the Drivers' Championship standings after 4 rounds in this championship. In first place is Nev for Thistle, which is a very good job, especially when I never give him the praise he deserves. What a twat. In second place is Smons for Smons Racing, being the official Max Verstappen position of not being close to first, but also not being close to third. Speaking of third, we have Sig for Tenryu on the third place spot. Very well done. In fourth, we have James for Betos, and August for Bâton de Fromage is in fifth place, tied with Teacup for TNG. In 6th and 7th, we have the 2 Polish lads, and there is a Canadian-American tie for 41 points between Twin Turbo and Linus. Special kudos to Jeremy Clarkson for doing much better than previous rounds. Same goes for Mectorlo and Devion. Now, on to the next final slide. So now, here we are at the end of yet another fantastic video, if I do say so myself. I was very surprised to see so much cars that looked so cool and so different, and I'm once again proud of you all in equal measure, and slightly less proud of Nev in particular. Next week you're making the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering, the hypercar. Thousands of horsepowers and thousands of carats and diamonds on your necklace, and we're ready to drive 10 miles an hour in front of the Monaco casino. Let me just grab some champagne and toast with exotic toppings, and I'll see you next week. From me and my production team, casting bureau, video editor, sponsorship deals and everlasting supporters, goodbye.